Everybody lit, can't pull that fire out. Hey, as soon as it pop, bro, pull that fire out.
Alcohol is cool, but have you ever had someone care about you? Me neither. Pass the bottle.
Michaela Dean was just 20 years old, beautiful, full of potential, and tragically naive enough to believe she could find love in the arms of Xavier Toussaint.
I clap some niggas, cover my tracks, I'm never slipping. Swallow this perky with my feelings, lost some niggas, yeah, triggers. These niggas bitches, bitch made been in the field since I was like 5th grade. You wanna fight, but I got pipe. Better think twice, or lose your life. Better think no sniper, they ain't no snipers. Free all the sniper, yeah, it's on sight. Niggas be this, but really be up in the crib. I catch them up, boy, on sight. Put them in the wood, I'm higher than kites, so step with designing on flight to flight. That's your bitch, she holding my pipe, she lick this dick, she eat it up right.
He was a 22-year-old career criminal in training, whose rap sheet read like a mixtape of felonies, assaults, and resisting arrest, with whispers in the street that he may have a couple of uncounted bodies on his resume. This wasn't a man searching for redemption. This was a man bragging about his chaos. Yet Makayla, like too many young women raised to romanticize struggle love, thought she could demand loyalty from a Chicago goon-juggling kids, baby mamas, and a self-proclaimed love affair with violence. After 3 toxic months of hell, it all exploded. Makayla pulled up to his house, threatening his property, demanding he come outside like he owed her a clean breakup. And by the end of the night, Makayla found out the hard way. Confronting a man who glorifies violence, brags about his guns, and treats human life like pocket change doesn't end in closure. It ends in tragedy. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads. Back in 2023, Makayla looked like so many other bright-eyed young women in Chicago, standing on the edge of adulthood. She had the prom experience every girl dreams of. Her hair was styled in a sleek updo, her silver dress shimmered, her accessories sparkled, and her date complimented her glow. Her family made sure her night was perfect. They went all out, making certain she stepped into that ballroom looking and feeling like a star. Just a month later, she walked across the stage at Michelle Clark Magnet High School, graduating with pride and possibilities. She had dreams. Makayla wanted to work in the educational field, maybe become a teacher, maybe shape the lives of children the way teachers had shaped hers. She enrolled at Malcolm X Community College, planning to knock out her gen eds before transferring. She wasn't sitting still. She had a part-time job at Foot Locker, keeping money in her pocket and her independence intact. In her free time, she was every bit the typical young adult, recording TikToks, arguing online, hitting parties, laughing with friends. On the surface, she was just another young woman moving through life's milestones. But under that silver dress and graduation gown was a girl already marked by grief. Her social media told the story of a young woman carrying heavy losses, friends and loved ones gone too soon, funerals attended too young. That pain pushed her into partying, drinking, covering her skin in tattoos, latching onto distractions to numb the reality. She'd been through heartbreak too, a breakup that nearly broke her down. She survived it, but the wounds lingered. And then came Xavier. Early 2025, Makayla entered into what would be the last and most toxic relationship of her life.
Can't call you by dog if you were right here on that block with us. Fuck y'all talking about. These bitches is on us.
He wasn't some misunderstood guy with hidden potential. No, Xavier was exactly who he presented himself to be. A bum armed with a gun and an ego, masquerading as a rapper while actually living as a Kia boy. For those unfamiliar, Kia boys are the bottom feeders of street crime. Young car thieves who exploit vulnerabilities in Kia and Hyundai vehicles to steal them for joyrides and petty crimes. While some kids were studying for exams or clocking in for work, Xavier was clocking in at Grand Theft Auto like it was a 9-to-5. He didn't have a job. He didn't have an education. He didn't have a plan. He didn't even pretend. His commitment was to the streets, to theft, to flashing weapons online, and to juggling women like they were props in a sideshow. And still, Makayla convinced herself she could carve loyalty out of that chaos. She thought she could make this man a boyfriend, maybe even a partner. She wasn't the first young woman to believe she could transform a man uninterested in transformation. And tragically, she won't be the last. Their 3-month relationship was volatile, violent, and doomed. Arguments weren't just arguments, they were eruptions. Promises weren't just broken, they were never made to begin with. The whole thing was a time bomb ticking louder every day. And on June 27, 2025, it finally exploded. At around 9:40 p.m., Makayla decided she had had enough. She grabbed a friend and drove to Xavier's apartment on the 5,400 block of South Prairie. But this wasn't some innocent drive-by. No, Makayla came strapped, not with a gun, but with Mace. She called Xavier multiple times, demanding he come outside, warning she would damage his property if he didn't. This wasn't the voice of reconciliation. It was confrontation, pure and raw. And Xavier? He responded exactly the way a man like Xavier responds, by escalating. He walked outside, armed not with words or reason, but with a 9mm Uzi-style handgun with an extended magazine, prepared for battle. Bystanders across the street saw the tragedy unfold. Witnesses, including teenagers as young as 13, reported seeing Makayla put her hands up defensively as Xavier swung the gun toward her head. He pistol-whipped her, not once, but twice. Then, stepping back, he pulled the trigger. The bullet tore through her palm, her final act of defensive gesture, and then struck her head. Her friend rushed to her side, panic overtaking bravery. But when Xavier reemerged from the apartment, the friend ran, calling 911 to report the shooting. Police arrived, but at first, no body was found. 15 minutes later, another caller reported an unresponsive young woman in a vacant lot on South Prairie. There lay Makayla, next to a canister of mace, lifeless, her life ended by the very violence Xavier flaunted online. And Xavier? He didn't flee in shame. He moved like a man who thought murder was routine. Neighbors saw him carrying black garbage bags to a trash can. Police later found the extended magazine in one, the murder weapon in another. His fingerprint was on the gun. Surveillance and evidence tied him to the crime. 9 days earlier, he had even posted a video on Facebook holding the exact same firearm. It was all there, the weapon, the casing, the witnesses, the fingerprints, the digital trail. And yet, he wasn't arrested immediately.
At this time, not a whole lot of details have been released about this incident, but what police have told us so far is that the victim is a 20-year-old female. According to police, it was around 9:40 Friday evening when they responded to East 54th and South Prairie Avenue in the Washington Park neighborhood for a call of a person shot. Once on scene, the Chicago Fire Department discovered the victim, a 20-year-old female, unresponsive. Police say the female sustained a gunshot wound to the head and was pronounced on scene. No further details about the incident have been released. At this time, no one is in custody for this case. Area 1 detectives are investigating.
Despite the overwhelming evidence, it took until August 27th for him to be charged. Another indictment of a justice system that drags its feet when young women are the victims. A judge finally ordered him held without bail on a first-degree murder charge. Let's be clear, these two should never have been involved. Makayla, a student, an employee, a young woman with a roadmap to teaching, had no business entangling herself with Xavier, a thief, a repeat felon, a man whose entire persona screamed danger. They weren't just unequally yoked, they were tethered to entirely different realities. But here's the hard truth no one wants to hear. Makayla wasn't innocent in this moment. She wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She wasn't ambushed walking home from work. She made the choice to drive to his home with Mace in her hand, intending to confront and threaten a man already known for violence. Her friends admitted as much. She had time to reconsider, to walk away, to block his number and start fresh. She didn't. She underestimated the stakes. Xavier was trash, yes. But Makayla underestimated how far trash will go to prove it's dangerous. She thought she could scare him, confront him, maybe make him feel her anger. Instead, she became another tragic name in the long list of women who believed toxic men would stop at bruises, stop at threats, stop short of death. The bullet to her head was not just Xavier's crime, but the punctuation on a chain of bad decisions she couldn't undo. And that's the bitterest part. Had she survived, maybe she could have learned, matured, realized he wasn't worth a text, much less a life. But now, she'll never get that chance. In the aftermath, friends posted tributes. One remembered her drive, her plans, her new truck, her excitement about getting a paraprofessional license, her dreams of working in a school. They called her My Pooh and a little sister figure. They mourned the laughter, the beauty, the potential. On July 12, 2025, her family buried her in a ceremony fit for a queen. They gave her the dignity in death that Xavier never gave her in life.
Okay, Kayla!
But the reality lingers. Makayla wasn't completely innocent, and Xavier wasn't entirely unpredictable. He had 3 prior felony gun convictions, pending drug and resisting charges, and a digital library of his own violent bragging. His whole life was a neon sign saying, "Stay away." And still, she went toward him, not away. That doesn't mean she deserved what happened. It means she underestimated what happens when you confront a man who worships violence more than God. Xavier went too far. He always was going to. Most people don't survive a headshot, and Xavier made sure of that. It's enraging, it's tragic, and it's preventable. Xavier should have been behind bars long before June 27. Makayla should have walked away long before June 27. But on that night, their choices collided, and only one walked away. Makayla will never teach in a classroom. She'll never complete her degree. She'll never learn from this mistake. She's gone, buried, her story now a cautionary tale. May Michaela Dean rest in peace.